Welcome back to Demon Lore 2099 Anime Review, Episode number 5. We're here reviewing episodes 9 and 10 for the series. Well, we continue the whole plot of basically this whole arc is looking for Regalia to unlock this vault beneath the school. That's pretty much the whole purpose of this arc, so you can look for these files where these dark vessels are. So basically, after introducing himself to the whole class, then of course after the whole thing with the magic thing breaking, then they go to the cafeteria to have lunch. I'm like, wow, an actual anime featuring a school that has a cafeteria and not, eating in the classroom. Like pretty much every single anime. Probably because this is a private school. That's probably the reason for it. So it looks like almost like a restaurant in there, almost like one of those food courts. And he's eating udon. And of course, basically, him has been accosted by this eldest of his noble family. Oh, when Bernard basically hears his name, like, oh, you're the descendant of that guy. He ran away. He was a freaking coward. So basically, he challenged him to do by take out his handkerchief and just smack his chest. Yep, and of course, they have the duel. And basically, he says, okay, I will not move from the spot. If I move, I lose, I get everything you want. If I win, you leave the girl alone. And the guy's like, fine. That is perfectly fine. And of course, he does this, imagine one hand, come on, put your back into it. Of course, he does both hands, big blast. And then he just catches this powerful arrow with his bare hand. It's like, wow, that was actually pretty good. My turn, and he just compressed a whole lot of magic into a tiny little ball. He just knocks the guy over when he leaves him alone. And he's like, no friends me. And of course, eventually later, first they had the three go to Electric Town. By the way, she's part of the Vernier clan, which we'll get to that. So, and just by sheer coincidence, they go to this maid cafe. Yes, a maid cafe. Now, this is something that don't see very often in a lot of anime. Maid cafes. I've seen this Mr. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and I believe the first time I ever saw one of these things was actually in My Bride is a Mermaid. Yes, they have one there too. I was like, wow, something from modern Japan that's not seen very much. A maid cafe. And oh yeah, of course, going with the biggest breast, and just have been the one looking for. And of course she's doing a little catch on this omelet, doing it a very sexualized way. And then of course basically explain everything, Aura's disappearing, so of course they introduce somebody, but only bring him. Of course, the other two just hang out. Melancholy just happened to find the book, a smut book she wrote on her boss, who she's in love with, or at least obsessed with. And of course, she buys the damn thing. So basically, she just gave herself money by buying this damn thing. And of course, Takahashi basically just buys something else. And then of course, the two meet with by the way, before they do all of this, so they're eating basically at the cafe, and then we have two police officers try to arrest Himeka for eating. Lucky enough, just the person just happened to come by, and she's like, "Really? You gonna see that low to arresting a girl for just eating in a cafe, eating in a food court, just because she's different?" Yeah, even she calls bullcrap into this so-called division between the two sides, whatever. And it's all about nobility in these houses. So they meet the guy in charge, and he's a freaking goblin. Not an elf, a goblin. Now, I did not expect that. Yeah, I did not expect to see a goblin in the show. Yeah, that's nothing. In case you're curious, though, goblins are not something I see a lot of in fantasy anime. I mean, there's a good small chunk of them, per se. I'd say of the ones I've seen, I've seen goblins in about 30% of the anime I come across. Yeah. One anime thinks the goblins is pure evil. All they do is try to basically kill people and just rape women. That being Goblin Slayer. And of course, everybody thinks pleasure seeing these guys get basically killed by the Goblin Slayer. Some basically are very nice people, like in the case of that Democratic Slime, and in the case of Overlord, kind of the same thing, where the goblins are just really nice people. So yeah, basically they agree to cooperate, and also he's asked to keep an eye on her. He can't go crown just yet, but basically gets him an ally. It's like cool, and of course there's the Air 2 guys, and of course his secret is that he actually can detect where the other pieces of regalia are, where the orb is, and where this other device is. I'm like, interesting. Yep. And apparently, get this, the guy is actually an old friend of her father's, which, of course he is. And apparently he got the name just because of his hard work and the fact he kind of inherited the name. So he has no elven blood in his body. And of course, basically, Demon points out, you're a goblin. He's like, yep. And of course, the girl's like, really? He's not convinced that? Nah, it's perfectly fine. Yep. And of course, we're leading into the last episodes here. Yep. I'm trying to think of anything else. Not really. Just 2 really fun episodes, and can't wait to watch the last 2. And then one different anime, which I do have that one coming up. And I'm thinking right after this one, I might be heading back to watching ToQger after watching the next anime. Yes, that's probably what's going to happen. Because, of course, it's been almost 3 weeks since I watched Super Sentai, so I figured why not this next one, just go ahead and go back to it. And why not? Yep, why not? So yeah, that is pretty much it, particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and I'll see you all tomorrow for my last review of this one, and start a new interview series, and maybe Comic Corner 2. Now, in case you're wondering, new anime tomorrow? No. As of currently, Wednesdays is free day. You see, the one day it's been free for the past few years, it's been Tuesday. You think, really? Tuesday isn't free? Yeah, Tuesday. Then why would you record new anime? Well, because they air previous days. So, there's currently right now nothing comes out on Tuesdays right now. There hasn't been anything new on Tuesdays in 4 years. Yes. Last thing I ever watched that was released on Tuesday was Black Clover. And I'm hearing something that there's a possibility that the anime will not come back this year, but it'll come back definitely next year. Yep, and next month there will be a review for Black Clover. Because manga, of course. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular review. So I'll see you all. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.